Welcome to Dealer Insider, the video series that touches the automotive dealer market. My name is Susan Gibbons, and I am the host of this series. Today we have Joe Shaker, owner of Shaker Auto Group, and April Rain, CEO of Digital Rain. Welcome, guys. Thank you for coming.
Hi, Susan. Thanks for having us.
All right, let's start off a little bit about your histories within the automotive industry. Joe, can you kick it off and just let us know how you got into the automotive industry?
Yeah, so got out of college. My family was in the car business, has been in for a very long time. Started with a really small gas station and, ended up buying out the family business in my early 20s, became a dealer at 24 officially. So, yeah, and then, grew the business and have a couple of family members that are partners with me. And, yeah, we're in the New England area, have 7 rooftops in Connecticut and in the Metro Boston market.
Nice. April?
Yeah, so like a lot of people, I started working at a dealership, and I thought it was going to be a temporary thing that I do until I found something different. And 20 years later, this is still the thing that I choose to be doing. And I worked at a dealership and then a local ad agency in Minneapolis, and then eventually branched out and built Digital Rain as a way of helping B2B companies be able to position their products, solutions, and scale their companies in front of dealers and OEMs and different things. So I've been really fortunate to have some really great clients over the years. So yeah, that's how we got started.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about something different that we normally don't talk about during our Dealer Insider videos, but they're events in the automotive industry and how important they are. You guys created AutoTech Investments and had your first show prior to NADA this year. I have heard nothing but great things about it. Tell me a little bit about how it went and who you had there.
Yeah. So, we all attend so many events, and we're all really struggling to try to get really good ROI and trying to find what's the catalyst for success when we're doing these. And then there's a lot of great ones out there, and there's a lot of really bad ones out there. But one of the things I noticed is a lot of, the automotive ecosystem really consists of 4 major players, right? We've got the manufacturers, the dealers, we got tech, and we got investors. And it really takes all 4 of those groups working in conjunction to be able to have, success within the dealership or even in the automotive industry as a whole. But I see a lot of these companies working in silos. They're all trying to make decisions or trying to figure out how do they truly connect with each other and get on the same page. So when we first started talking about this, I thought I was brainstorming with Joe, and as someone who is a dealer, a tech innovator, and an investor, and sits on OEM boards and has participated in this industry for a while, he also can see those same struggles of those people not being able to have those conversations. So we sought out to have a very boutique event at NADA. We were going to have a very small breakfast of under 50 people. But we also really wanted somebody that has their finger on the pulse for what's happening in automotive tech. So we reached out to Steve Greenfield, and he was very enthusiastic to participate. And he really sees what's happening with innovative tech with his with automotive ventures. And so we started out to just plan a very, intimate breakfast where we all could have these conversations and have it part OEM, dealer group, dealers, investors, private equity, OEMs, and see if we could just really have a great conversation to kick off our motivation for NADA and just get us, started off on the right foot. And to our surprise, we had over 350 requests for our 50-person breakfast. So we were really quick to have to expand the room and try to find more opportunities. And unfortunately, still over 200 people were waitlisted. So this really confirmed that there was a desire for people to be having this type of conversation. But like, as I said, I couldn't have done this alone. Like, I definitely needed people like Steve Greenfield, David Metter, Joe Shaker to help me really shape what these conversations should look like. And so then I turned to them and asked them to help me give me some feedback on how we could guide this. And it was a great success. I was really excited.
Yeah, it was interesting because April, this is April's event. She keeps saying we, like we're in France or something, but it's her event. And she just basically asked for advice. And I think she hit the nail on the head when she said, if you look at the constituents that need to be together for one meeting, all focused. A lot of meetings include some investor, some technology. Then the next thing is they'll talk about electric car. They'll talk about just all these different topics all over the place. And I think really, if you look at the car business, the evolution of the car business, how we're going to change, how the industry is going to really step up and be able to serve the customer in the future, you need technology, you need dealers, right? And you need OEMs there, because many OEMs are partnering with dealers now to have the closer relationship than they've ever had before. They look at other things as existential threats, Rivian and Tesla and all these as threats. So, boy, it's a good time to work together. So you have that dynamic. And then you have investors. And because a lot of the money that gets behind these ideas comes from investors. It also comes from dealers. There's so many dealer investors. And then there's funds that are focused on automotive only, like a Steve Greenfield, like a FM Capital, who all were there and attending, and their focus is on transportation. So that is a very, very laser focused group of people that are totally necessary to be together in a room, to talk, to meet each other, to share ideas, to learn about investments, to open people's minds to what's possible. And I think the beauty of it was the focus of those 4 specific constituents that are going to drive the evolution/revolution of how the auto industry changes. So that's what I thought was very special about the event that April put together, and incredibly uber focused. As she said, I founded a company called True Video, which has grown into this massive video and messaging and AI platform at 3,600 dealers and partners with CDK and Reynolds and all these other companies. And we're trying to change the way people experience being at dealerships, and we're trying to improve communication and drive great experiences. And, having that experience as a technology person, having an experience as a dealership group owner, and I'm an investor. I'm an investor in automotive ventures. I'm an investor in FM Capital. So, and I invest privately into deals. So for me, that ecosystem of people together was absolutely fascinating. And I'm not alone. There's so many dealers. I mean, up on stage with me at that was, Ryan Mayer from Busy Car, and, he's a dealer as well. And he's a, phenomenal guy. And we had so many great, speakers and companies talking about their perspectives. And the insights were incredibly valuable. So that's what I would say, Susan. It's really, April was really great in bringing those together. And yeah, the people she mentioned, they all went, and she went to them and asked advice and asked great questions. But she's really dialed into something here that's special, I think, based on everything I've just said.
I feel like this audience is such a huge audience, and people that might not even know they want to come to this event yet. So, there's so many dealers out there that want to do more than just what they're doing at their dealership. They do want to invest. They want to take it further. They don't know how to do that. Is this an event where they can learn how to maybe take it to the next level?
Let me jump in on that. As the dealer, many of the reasons I invested in these funds that I originally got into, obviously I want to get a return, but I want early look. I call them early looks at things that are out there in the marketplace technologically. I need to stay ahead. It's not so much me competing against other dealers anymore. It's me providing fabulous experiences. We have competition coming from Amazon and everybody else. The least of my worries is the dealer across the street anymore. So this is where this is incredibly helpful. I think what's really interesting is if you look at who needs an early look, it's the dealer. They want an early look. They want to be part of the solution. You can invest, and you could also use the stuff that you're investing in and decide this makes sense or it doesn't make sense. And you're really talking about the end user voting versus a hypothesis, right? It's theory versus reality. When you see the OEMs, they're always trying to just connect the dots. They're working on their own things. They have their own problems that are arising, and they're trying to see, we have this issue. How can it be solved? What's out there that's helping? And generally, they only get to see who's pitched them. They're not going and openly to a forum to see things. and do some discovery on their own. It's very hard when you are at the OEM to have those teams go out and do some discovery. This brings it all together. If you're an investor, like I get 1 million calls from young analysts saying, hello, Mr. We've been looking at your business. We were wondering if we could talk to you. And they're out trying to find companies and make investments. So they're out prospecting and trying to reach all these CEOs and CTOs and infiltrate these businesses. When you look at all these people together, and software companies are looking for investment, they're looking for OEM dealers, they're looking for dealer validation. So as we just said earlier, this really is able to grab these people. Now, if I'm an investment firm or a private equity or growth equity or any of those firms, I can send my team to one of these events and see 15 CEOs all at once and go shake their hand and meet them. If I go to, an event that April's throwing in the future, you know what I mean? I could then do the same. In addition to that, follow through and see a bunch of presentations from dealers in a room with dealers and OEMs and technology companies. I can get all of that access and the relationships by just like attending an event. That's when an event has value. No one wants to attend to listen to speeches. People want to attend and gain something from events.
Yes, and take it home and apply it. And so speaking of events, I feel like, this conversation we've been talking, and I feel like we've upset our audience a little bit because they're like, oh, I missed the event prior to NADA. Well, good news. There is another event coming up. April, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So immediately when we saw the enthusiasm around the breakfast, we were like, well, I know that my clients, the people I work with, people like Joe, everybody's so busy nowadays and they just don't have time to go to 10 different events in a year. We all know that NADA is amazing, but it goes by so fast. So you're just trying to capitalize on all those connections very quickly. And then there's some great events in the fall, and there's just a big gap in that time frame where people really want to be able to follow up on some of those conversations. So we had the opportunity to partner with CX Auto, which is an event that's been running in Marina del Rey for about 12 years. And it has a really good, solid audience of OEMs, dealer groups, and they really talk about the customer experience within the dealership. And so they reached out and offered for us to collaborate with them. So ATI is doing a one-day event right before CX Auto at the Ritz Carlton in Marina del Rey on June 10th. And we won because we know we're catering to people with a very busy lifestyle. We made it afternoon to evening, so people from East Coast can fly in on that Monday and not intrude on their weekend. And just like the breakfast, we're really trying to scrutinize over amazing content, amazing opportunity. We do an invite-only process, which is very new for the industry. Instead of just selling tickets to everyone, we have everybody request an invite and we review, and dealers, dealer groups, OEMs have a complimentary ticket. And we work with other potential new tech startups, investors, private equity, and have a really curated executive VIP audience. So we just know that everybody in that room is a value to connect with. And then we just have a very efficient agenda to make sure that people are getting TED Talk style panels and discussions. So we have a very quick flow, keeping everybody really engaged and interesting. And then using people like Greenfield to really help make sure our content is spot on, that we are just not talking about things that are happening, a year or two ago. How can we make sure that we're making good use of everybody's time? So, and then giving other companies an opportunity. So we have 2 Shark Tanks. We did one Shark Tank at the breakfast, which was seed companies. So Steve interviewed 4 early startup companies, and we had a panel of investors sitting there, and they got to do their very quick 5-minute Shark Tank style pitch. And then the investors would weigh on if they would be the type of person that would invest in their company, or if they have a very investable product. And then we decided to take that even further to now there's established companies that have been around for a few years. They're no longer in that startup mode, but they have innovative products or new solutions that maybe they want to showcase. And sometimes, especially for startups, it's very costly to participate in events, and some of these people, they can have these great innovations, but they don't have $20, $50, $100,000 to throw into an expo. And so we're making it extremely cost effective for these companies to be able to submit their ideas, showcase their products to valuable people, and hopefully make great connections and get either the traction that they need, investment, or mentorship maybe from some of these consultants. So yeah, we're just trying to pull all that together and just make it a really dynamic event for anybody in the industry.
So just one final note, how can someone register for those tickets?
No, perfect. So you would just go to autotechinvestments.com and you would do request an invite. So, and then we review them on a periodic basis with our advisory team and our key sponsors. And we go through and we select, obviously, everybody that's a dealer and OEM gets admittance. Everybody outside of that, we might reach out to you and see, what your agenda is there, or see how you can fit in. And then always there's the opportunity to sponsor. If you're a good fit for the company and seeing that this is something that can work with, then you can give us a call for sponsorship as well.
I think that's awesome in that part specifically because, it's not like it's this pay to play thing where, you have an event and whoever pays the most gets to talk for an hour, regardless of how silly what they're saying is. As a dealer, you can sniff through that immediately, and everybody else can as well. So the invite is really important because I think it's keeping the quality of that audience in check. And that was really evident with the level of people that were in the mix of people you had, April, at Las Vegas, so at the NADA. So to me, that is so important because so many of these events, it's, guy goes in with a stack of cards, you meet some really interesting people, then you meet some people that are just, there's no connection there, and it's like it's overbearing a little bit. And so this type of, way you structured it is incredibly impressive. And, you're using your connections with, the investment bankers and everybody that's, connected with you on this to filter out, what makes sense and where there's a good fit. And I think good fit is really what makes good events as well. So I like the fact that you did that part, and you could sell tickets and let anybody in, and and then I don't know what kind of event or the event quality. So that takes a lot of discipline, and I give you a lot of credit for that.
Thank you. Yeah, I have to admit I was really excited by the blend that we got, because as we all know that there's a lot of events that are dealer heavy, or that's the goal, is to get a lot of dealers in the room. And then there's a lot of vendors just hammering them and attacking them. And this ended up being such a great blend of, we did have over 40 dealer group representatives. We had over, 10 OEM representatives. We had media, Auto Success. We had investors, as well as everybody there was a C-level and up. And so no one person, everybody is looking at the opportunity to connect. Nobody is looking to hammer or try to sell someone else. So I think that blend gave us all these great conversations. And that's what we were really trying to do, is build a community of people that are looking to engage and have these type of topics.
Well, thank you both for coming and joining and educating us today. I will see everybody June 10th.